Yo, what's going on everybody? Sully here, and today I'm reviewing Volume 1 of the manga adaptation of Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale. I've actually been looking forward to discussing this on my channel for a while now because I absolutely love the movie and it finally just got an English release. This has been one of my most anticipated manga of this year and I'm so excited I finally get to talk about it. I wanted to get this video out last week when it got released, but none of my bookstores had any copies and I didn't have anything else planned for that week. So I do apologize for that. Also, stay tuned for more SEO manga reviews in the future. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit the like button so I can keep making more videos like this one, and subscribe to the channel so you stay updated when new content drops. With all of that out of the way, let's get into it. So if you're an SEO fan, you're more than likely familiar with the Ordinal Scale movie. I remember back when the movie first came out, it was massive. I went to the theater and it was absolutely packed. Which was a pretty big deal for me personally because I was one of the handful of people at my school who had actually seen the show. There were plenty of kids at my school who watched anime, but very few of them had seen SAO. So I honestly felt kind of alone in the sense that I didn't really have that many people to talk to or connect with over the show, because I was really passionate about it at the time. I still am, but I'm not really a super fan like I was back then. Nowadays I'm more of a casual fan when it comes to SAO.
Stop the cap! No boys.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying.
So I was genuinely surprised when I saw the overwhelming number of people in the theater who were just as excited as I was. I was always under the impression I was the only person in my entire home state who knew the show even existed. I had no idea it was as popular as it was in my area. Being surrounded by other fans and experiencing one of my favorite shows on the big screen was an experience I'll never forget. I had a big dumb smile on my face throughout almost the entire movie. This movie is pretty much the pinnacle SAO experience. While it is debatable which movie is better between this and Progressive in terms of overall quality, this movie is just pure fan service galore. This movie has a little bit of everything that every type of fan can enjoy. It was genuinely one of the best movie-going experiences I ever had. The only other movie experience I had that was anywhere near that level was Dragon Ball Super Broly. I would mention The Force Awakens, but Disney totally shit the bed when it came to that trilogy, and I honestly would just prefer to forget the whole thing ever even happened. So you can imagine how excited I was when I heard the news that Ordinal Scale would be getting a manga adaptation. I couldn't wait to re-experience the whole story all over again. Now I am well aware that the manga is already finished and it got released in its entirety in other countries like France.
I'm here to warn you. There is a great evil coming. His name is Poppy. Oh! There is a great evil coming. Like, what the fuck? All that Chad is saying is that great evil is the damn French.
But it's only just now making its way to the States. So I personally, as well as many other US fans, haven't read it yet.
You should have seen him at the last UN meeting.
And thus, I humbly demand that all nations submit to the supreme rule of America. And in return, you will all receive your own Disney World, McDonald's, and Bank of America. Except for the French. You can all just go straight to hell.
I know there are some fan translations online, but I prefer to get my translations from the actual official publisher. Only a very few handful of times do I trust the fan translations over the official translations, like in the case of Jujutsu Kaisen. For anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link in the description to Chibi Reviews' video where he goes a lot more in depth with it. But yeah, JJK's translations are actual trash, bro. I also prefer to support the official release because SEO is a franchise that I actually care about and want to support in any way I can. So how does the manga hold up compared to the movie? Well, we'll get into that, but first I feel like I need to clarify a few things for anybody who might be confused as to what exactly this manga is supposed to be, and whether or not it fits into the main canon of the series. By the way, this video will contain spoilers for the movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, I strongly recommend you go watch it first. However, I will try to refrain myself from spoiling the manga, which shouldn't be too hard because for the most part this first volume is pretty much the same thing as the movie. So for anybody who's read the novels, I think it's pretty abundant that Reki Kawahara is pretty much the Japanese equivalent of George Lucas. This man absolutely loves rewriting and retconning his own stories. It's almost like he has zero regard for continuity, like he doesn't give a fuck. This might not be as much of an issue for people who have only seen the anime, but on the novel side of things, it's a bit of a mess. Just to give you a point of reference, by the time the Ordinal Scale movie came out, the Alicization arc had already been completed in the novels. In the movie, Kirito and Asuna get engaged, but this is something that never happens in the novels. As far as I know, Kirito and Asuna are still just dating. Yet in spite of that, by the time season 3 rolled around, we see Asuna still wearing her engagement ring. This alone caused enough controversy among the fans to debate whether or not the movie was canon, because even though it was written by Kawahara, it didn't fit in the novel's timeline. Kawahara did try to rewrite Ordinal Scale as a short story as a means to actually make it fit in the timeline, but he eventually just gave up and threw his arms up in the air and said, fuck it, it's canon. Like, the level of not giving a fuck is kind of annoying, but at the same time, I feel like I kind of have to respect it. Then, of course, we had the whole Mito and Ida shenanigans that happened in the novels not too long ago, which had the fanbase in an uproar. Like, bro, trying to understand the SAO novels at this point is like trying to understand the X-Men movies. Like, this shit makes no sense. I might make a future video going a bit more in-depth with how messy SAO's continuity is, because I don't want to drag this video out for too long or get too off topic. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing. So what exactly is the Ordinal Scale manga? Is it a reboot? Is it a direct one-to-one adaptation? Well, to put it simply, it's an adaptation with bonus content that wasn't included in the movie due to runtime. So even though it does generally follow the main story of the film, there are a whole lot more added details and moments that we haven't seen before, which does help make the story feel refreshing and not just a rehash of the events of the movie, as well as give more needed context that wasn't there prior. It isn't meant to replace the movie entirely, it's just meant to be supplementary to the movie. So how is the manga? Well, I'm very happy to report that the manga is very good. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed by the lack of new content. The whole reason why I bought this manga in the first place was to see the new material and the exploration of certain storylines and characters the movie didn't have enough time to expand upon. And unfortunately, there just isn't a whole lot that happens in this volume outside of the movie. Aside from a few minor changes, for the most part, it's pretty much the same thing. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I do appreciate the fact that this is an actual faithful adaptation. I was just looking forward to seeing the new content it had to offer. Now keep in mind this is just the first volume, so we probably will likely see more of the new material in later volumes. I was most looking forward to seeing Edgy's backstory properly elaborated on, since we only got to see small glimpses of it in some of the video games like Integral Fracture and Fracture Daydream, which aren't even canon. I am willing to be patient, but I feel like I shouldn't have to wait for months for the next volume, which might not even get to that part. One thing that I was really looking forward to was seeing how the action would translate into manga form, because the artwork is just absolutely amazing. I just love the style and the details in the drawings so much. It's genuinely stunning how good it is. However, the actual fights themselves feel a lot more underwhelming than they should for some reason. I don't know what it is exactly, but something about the way the characters are posed at certain panels just makes the action feel less impactful than it should. Like, the characters aren't hitting as hard as they're supposed to. Maybe it's because I've been spoiled by the fight scenes in the movie because the animation is just so insanely good. Ordinal Scale is a movie that already has top-notch animation to begin with, so translating that into the form of a manga can be challenging. But even comparing it to other SAO manga, it feels more dull than it should. Kisuke Himura did an amazing job drawing the action for the progressive manga, and he doesn't even traditionally draw action manga. He's mostly just known for drawing big titty anime girls.
Thank you, man. Wow, that is delicious. Finally, some good fucking food.
I'm not familiar with his other artists' work. I do like the style a lot, but the panels for the fights range from passable to subpar, and I don't feel good saying that because I really do like the art in spite of not caring for the fights. I wish I could like the action, but I just don't feel the hype the same way I do with the movie or even other SAO manga. Overall, the manga was pretty good. I wasn't expecting anything mind-blowing, I just came for a faithful retelling of the film and a good time, and it delivered. I was a little let down by the lack of new material, and I really wish the fight scenes matched the amazing art style, but other than that, I can't really complain. But what do you guys think? Did the manga adaptation live up to your expectations? Do you think the movie was better? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button so I can keep making more videos like this one, and subscribe to the channel so you stay updated when new videos drop. Hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe and take care.